Good morning. What we have in mind is breakfast in bed for 400,000. Now, it's not going to be steak and eggs or anything, but it's going to be good food, and we're going to get it to you. It's not just the hog farm either. It's like the Ojai Mountain family and the pranksters and everybody else that has volunteered and put in their time into the free kitchens. In fact, it's everybody. We're all feeding each other. We must be in heaven, man. There is always a little bit of heaven in a disaster area. So if you want to make it back to your campsites, we'll try and get the food to you. Or if you're staying here, we'll try and get the food to you. Now, there's a guy up there, some hamburger guy, that had his stand burned down last night. But he's still got a little stuff left. And for you people that still believe that, you know, capitalism isn't that weird, you might help him out and buy a couple of hamburgers. Okay. Okay, here it comes. Mess call. Gently. There'll be plenty for everybody.
That's it. Give him that kosher bacon there.
Ellen Heyman to the front. Jim McLean, please go to the Pink and White Tent Hospital as soon as possible. And kissing builds up your mouth.
Richard Moss and Barbara, meet us at the information booth. Court Richer or Greg Hollander, go to the Ferris wheel at 12 o'clock. Greg's sister has his medicine.
Okay, Gail, wow. Sirincione. Meet your daddy-o at the first aid station near the security office. Gail Sirincione. If you got food, feed other people. Bugsy to the Pink and White Tent. Keep feeding each other. And if you're too tired to chew, pass it on.
After we get breakfast done, we're going to break for a while at about 1 o'clock. Give everybody a chance to get a little bit of a cat nap. There's plenty of room in the campgrounds. There's plenty of room in the field. The roads are fairly clear now, so if any of you decided that you've had enough music and you get a little tired, yeah, there may be one or two. You can get buses out of Monticello. Everything's cool. Everything's very cool all the way around. Help us with the water and the garbage. Those are the two things that you can do. Thank you all again. It just keeps going. It's lovely.
Okay. The answer questions people ask me. What's happening here?
Need more onions done?
Has the food been coming in all right? People got, you know, we have any problems about getting food in?
No, people eat as much as there is. We feel and cook as much as there is.
Do we have enough food?
I think so.
They aren't hungry.
We need to use what we can. Let's get as fast as we can.
Who are you with? You hog farm people?
I'm working with Hog Farm, but I'm just here for the concert.
Just volunteering to do this.
Right.
Well, that's the whole point of everything, isn't it?
Just rapping with people. What are you doing? I'm trying to give information to people. Is there anything that you think you'd like to tell to people that, you know, like they ought to be careful about or watch out for?
Mainly just pick up after themselves with papers and food and peels and things. There really could be a problem if people didn't keep it under control. But thanks to the hog farm, I think most of the garbage is pretty well taken care of.
You have food for people who are meat eaters as well?
Yeah, we had last night. It was really good. And the good people of White Lake keep sending us goodie boxes full of things like spam and tinned tuna fish, kippered herring, if you're into that sort of thing.
You think people are going to stay?
No, I think people are going to start spilling out tonight because the concert will be over and we have about 2 weeks to get things cleaned up.
But the Hog Farm people are going to stay and keep feeding people for a while?
Well, because they're co-sponsoring this, it's a dismantling.
Why?
Giving out water with poison in it.
Giving out water with poison in it?
It's got chlorine in it to keep people from getting dysentery. It don't taste too good.
Are you hungry?
No, we're not. I already eat. I don't know if anybody else does. How's the food, by the way?
It's kind of dry, but the water helps.
Why do you say it's poison?
No, it's uncomfortable, that's all.
It's very full of chlorine because they had to take it out of the lake.
That's not good.
What's that?
It has a lot of chemicals in it, and it's not very healthy to have chemicals in your system.
Right.
Especially like if you're used to country water.
What?
If you're used to country water and then you drink that, you can get very sick.
Used to country water?
Yeah.
Where do you come from?
Well, I live by Woodstock.
Oh, you do? Okay. What do you think? What's happened here so far?
I think it's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing.
How come?
Because a lot of people are growing closer and there's a lot of love and a lot of giving between people.
You gonna go home?
Well, I'll be staying here for probably another week or two. Like I'm working with the hog farm, and then I'll go home to Woodstock.
You think a lot of people are gonna stay here for a long period of time?
It's possible. I don't know, though. You have to see what happens.
What about the idea of just staying here?
Well, why not? It's cool. It's a good place.
You work here?
No.
You jabbing that into people.
Just here.
Inhuman procedures.
Hey, can you back up a little to
Yeah,
let some
sure,
people
we'll
through
let
for
There are
food?
people waiting to get
Yeah,
fed.
because like
It's oats. Oats. Right. Let's go to the... Wow, what do you think of the festival so far?
Fantastic.
What's fantastic about
It's
it?
great. Just the people. It's mostly the people.
Is anybody hassling you? Is anything hassling you?
No, nothing wrong at all. Everything is just perfect. It's beautiful.
Great.
Want to turn us on?
You had any luck yet?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, we've got enough to get us fucked.
How long have you been here?
Long enough. This is Thursday. I've been here since Thursday.
When do you plan on leaving?
Tonight we were gonna leave, like, but we can't get out, you know? Like, we're never gonna leave. We're gonna take this place over, man. It's a concentration camp. As I say, I haven't told you yet. We'll never get those films to the police department. Hi, what are these films for, man? Really?
Well, for the Movement City Media Center. It's over by the hog farm.
Are you showing them?
Yeah.
It's always fucked up.
Are they filming away?
Nice.
Are we live now?
Oh, no, it's videotape.
Before we get to our ego,
I can't wait to see this.
Hey, incidentally, do
You
want
to
turn
us.
on? Do you?
Do you?
Got no dope, do you?
The seashell. Michael, can I put it in your pocket?
Sure, snort it.
Where are you going, Can you take it, man? She gave me a seashell. I was asking for acid. She gave me a seashell. Same thing. Eat it. No, I didn't eat it. While I'm sitting over towards the right top, you know the reserve seats we had the other day? Up there by the fence. Right. That way, man. Video trips. Out of sight. Up that way. Video trips, man. To the Woodstock Music and Dope Fair.
Right.
It's so nice to see everyone here.
What? Like all brothers.
Wait a second, man. The cat's going the wrong way. Wait. Hey, Bosco.
Bosco!
That's the way to the show, man. Can I have a tab vest?
Would you like to turn me on?
That's it.
Small days, man.
Ha ha ha.
Way out. No.
Right about there. Say a couple of words.
Of wisdom. Of wisdom. Words of wisdom.
How do you like your new family? Out in the woods.
What?
It's the whole city in itself. Self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient. Right.
When?
1,000 years, baby.
The show.
Ever, man. I never have to go back to concrete and brick cities.
Yeah, you fucking stone jungle. Have music here?
Really, never.
Stupid fucking stone jungle inhabitants, man.
Nigga,
Go
everyone's
back
smiling,
to
man.
those
They do that in the
fucking
city.
and the buses.
They don't do that. They're too busy trying to make bread. We're trying to enjoy, man. Take drugs, man, lay out and just... They got thing, man. Exceptional.
No dope is like any dope.
This is really fine stuff, man.
Any dope. Any kind of dope.
Anything
Is
else.
that take it downs, ups, whatever you have. LSD. 5 delicious flavors. LSD. Acid.
Oh, everybody looks like a drug addict. Taking drugs.
Drugs wrong.
Drugs. I'm a drug addict. Oh, give me a drug. Give me a Coca-Cola. Give me a Madison Avenue up. Oh, I'm dying.
Well, what do you think about the chromosome thing?
I think a chromosome is...
Well, Coca-Cola. Chromosome, you know, if they're really interested in your health, man, how about Coca-Cola? How about tobacco? How about a scotch? You know, how about the shit they feed you for food, right? How about the FDA? Okay? On my number?
Scientific American put out something saying that the chromosome study was totally invalid.
It's propaganda. It's propaganda. Coca-Cola will break up more chromosomes than all the LSD in the world.
Yeah, she tripped you out. Coca-Cola.
I think psychedelics and drugs are 2 different things.
What do you think the drug scene is into here at the, exposition?
At the exposition?
How do you feel about the freakouts and about the stories about the acid and the whole thing?
Bad acid going around. And I don't know where the bad acid's coming. Maybe from the CIA. Maybe the CIA is producing their own bad acid.
Is it bad acid or the festival being so heavy, so many people?
Oh, no. You won't. Anyone who's done acid, man, won't freak out on pure acid. You don't freak out on pure acid. When it's cut with heroin, the mafia, cutting with heroin and speed, the mafia and the governors of our great land, who are hand and foot, hand in glove. The mafia money goes to the governors, right? It's the same people, the big government and the mafia. That's where it's at. You all know where it's at. Right.
That far out of the whole audience.
Balls in which the power structure, the imperialistic structure, is able to help divide and conquer the people by having them go after one another and saying, aha, you see, he's the one who's really looting you, he's the one who's using you, vamp on him. And therefore gets away with, not being the real enemy. And you see that internal violence, that internal frustration, they vamp on each other and they destroy each other rather than destroying the enemy. Fanon makes that point beautifully. And it's the same kind of thing, I think. I don't think that kid's the enemy, I think the society and the capitalist structure that taught him to sell it is the enemy. He can maybe be changed, and I don't even know where his politics are. But, he's one of us, and, he can be changed, because he's still young. And therefore, I think we got to put the violence where the violence belongs, with the enemy, and not among ourselves.
Hanging on the microphone. Listen, Eric, it's been a pleasure. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get to see yourself on TV?
Oh, man. Is that what it's for? He's got to face the other way. See, it doesn't work like that.
Stand in front of it.
He moved it over there. Are they taping everything?
Huh?
There's Rich.
I have a special service announcement.
Oh,
There'll be no daily newspaper because our printer went home sick, and we have no paper. The complete and utter breakdown of capitalism and the movement. We have to stay and forge new ways in our revolutionary lifestyle. We must keep this land. This land belongs to the people. Stay. Don't go home when the concert's over. Land belongs to us and we'll defend it. Power to the land. Power to the land.
You got a political message? Political message. Fuck all this hippie comment.
Have you just visited this area here, these facilities? Have you just shat?
Shat. I have shitted.
You have shitted?
Yes.
And what did you think of it?
A bit smelly.
It is a bit smelly.
Yeah. But I found that I was lucky to find toilet paper. I didn't have to use them at my whole 5. No.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that was groovy.
How did you find it?
I didn't. I restrained.
Oh, you restrained yourself?
Yes.
Well, see, I released some pressure. It had built up. I usually do it at least twice a day. See.
Oh, well, that's unusual, isn't it? Yeah, well.
But I released the pressure to.
Good. I'm glad. How did you find the shit house over here?
Smelly.
It's smelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have to clean it a little more, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Michael. That because we have to live here all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that nobody does anything, man. I pick up all the time, but nobody else does anything.
You mean people aren't picking up?
No, people aren't picking up.
That's true. We built some fires yesterday. Everybody went around all over the place, you know, up by the concert area, picking up garbage. And I think people, for the size, people did tremendously. I mean, especially with the food. I mean, sharing. Like, a guy came up to our car and he said he had an orange in one hand and wafers in the other. He said, "Look, I'll trade you for some water." We said, "Well, we have nothing." So he said, "Well, you're worse off than we are," and he gave us his orange. I mean, that kind of thing. So, I mean, I think people are very cooperative.
You want to go home?
I don't know. We were thinking about it.
You want to go home? No, I want to stay here for good.
Good, you're having a good time, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, a million different reasons. I can't tell you.
Stoned out of my mind.
Well, that's one great reason.
Nobody buys you.
Yeah.
Wait, are they brothers and sisters of yours? Brothers?
Yeah, brothers and sisters, for sure.
Natural or?
Doesn't matter. Just.
It's natural, yeah, but they're not blood. I just want to know if you picked up any food. You know, I'm not really interested in getting my picture taken.
You're not?
No.
Did you go over to the hog farm?
Yeah, and well, they, you know, individually, but our people are way over there, and they don't, you know, well, they're really wrecked. They can't move. You know. No,
you can dig it. It's like a drink.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And that was the case yesterday. Some people were giving out these light blue tabs, claiming THC and claiming all this other garbage, and it fucked up a lot of people. But there's a lot of really nice shit going on too. There's some blotters, white blotters, and there's some strawberry mescaline, and there's some very, very dark grape flavored mescaline. That's pretty good. And there's some grass. Oh yeah.
Would you like to smoke a joint?
Yeah, I love to.
Smoke a joint, man? Hey, come on.
That looks like, I get some weird stuff. It's not,
yeah?
Yeah, it's like wet. But it's all right.
It's wet. It's probably, it's homegrown, that's all. But homegrown's good too. Homegrown's always good. It's always nice. I look so freaked out with that camera, man. It really does.
What kind of paper is that?
This?
Chocolate brown.
No, it's chocolate. Well, it's good. It gives it a flavor. Glass can be really harsh, but it's got its own flavor. It's nice. Yeah.
What do you think about this scene over here in terms of drugs?
Over here?
Like, is it cool? Is there any problem about a hassle in terms of people hassling you about just turning on that?
There's no, the only thing that'd be hassling about drugs is people blowing their heads off, because it's too much. That's people doing 5, 10 tabs. You want to talk? Oh man, don't, you know, don't worry about it. It's good grass too. Oh hell. Do you have a light?
You having fun over here?
Yeah, I'm having a good time. Are you? Is this your job?
Where does this go, man?
We're going to put it out in Movement City over there as a video journal of what's happening, you know, to give people information. Have you had any bum trips or bad scenes?
I like a beer, though.
What?
I'd like a beer.
You like a beer?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just like a beer.
I was just telling these people over there, you know, that like they said that I look like a narc, you know, and it's amazing that I'm a narc. Are you Big Brother watching me or something? Like Freak's gonna see this whole thing, you know, and like
Shirt man and the mustache and the beard.
plastic, but like the you just can't get accepted by like hip people. They say you're a narc, and narc people say you're hip, and like in between that, like nothing's happening, you know. It's like really incredible.
You're confused. It's
Yeah.
a confusing situation.
Very confusing. Like these cats charge me. Excuse me.
Are you a narc or aren't you?
What?
Are you a narc or aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe in the cosmic unknown, I'm a narc, but like here, down here,
You're
I'm
not doing a very effective job here. You are. How did you find out about it? So, have you eaten here before?
No, I haven't. It's the first time.
How'd you find out about it?
Oh, a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people.
What's that?
They announced it up on the stage yesterday.
Is there any food? You people don't have any of your own food left?
No, we don't.
Have you had fun at the festival?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Why?
Why? Yeah.
Oh, it's away from the city.
Hello. How are you?
How are you? Are you having fun here?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's really nice. Will I be on the movie?
You having fun here? Well, I'll show this to the whoever it is. Well, let's talk about what about this stuff?
From what I've seen so far, they're not cleaning them often enough. That's clear. I mean, you know, they're kind of smelly and they're, you know, getting a little piled up, but they seem to have enough of them for all the people, at least around here. But there seem to be a good number for the population density around here. I really haven't checked the other areas closely. But it doesn't seem to be a major pile-up of people with it. It's just they're really not cleaning them often enough, and that could be a health problem.
What about the sanitation things over here?
Well, this we've pointed out to them a number of times. They know this. They know that the garbage is being heaped up, and they've gone out over the loudspeaker system, and they've told the people, please put them into bags, please leave them at the side of the road, and please clear the road so the garbage trucks can pick it up. And they've been trying to do that. You know, like we told them yesterday there would be a problem. We told them, you know, it's going to get worse, and that could be, a potential disaster if they let the garbage pile up. Actually, we had a kid with a rat bite this morning already.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You mean there are rat bites?
Well, he said it was a rat. You know, I didn't see the rats, so I don't know. But, you know, there certainly could be field rats around.
But it seems to me that this area is fairly clean.
Yeah, well,
the area over towards the large music area is.
First of all, I think in this area there are like more communal, together type people who like are really trying to care about one another.
With the people that are freaking out.
No, this.
Are you going to go over there?
They just don't want to bring him.
I'm just going to go around and see what's happening, and I'll come back.
Okay.
Those things that you hit yourself and then, you.
Oh, you'll get used to it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Are you a doctor?
No, I'm just helping out here.
I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor? Are you? Oh wow! Are you having fun here?
Well, we are little things. There, maybe inside it's.
Oh, it's better. You do just little things here.
Right.
Just do the slow music so you get. What are you doing?
Pardon?
What are you doing?
Oh, the first aid station is supplying baby food in Similac.
Oh, and you have a baby here?
Yes.
Oh, great. How's the baby doing?
Fine, he's right out here. Why do you think I got myself involved in this whole...
Get it out of here.
There shouldn't be smoking in here.
That's right. What's the matter, sweetheart?
a few ghost beds for my little sister. My mother said to, because we have the dress, the dressing for it. She just ran out of ghost beds.
Why was it not dressed in here? Do you know the reason?
No, she didn't have it lanced here. She had it lanced.
At the other unit?
No, in Monticello.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And she ran out of ghost beds.
Do you know what size she would prefer? The little ones or the bigger ones?
No, the big ones.
Try and limit that to the patients because we don't have that much water.
Put you in the water.
Is that your little duck?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Sick?
No. Cocoa. You what? Throw it on the ground, so make the grass grow. Wow, it's really good. You got any hate? Oh, yeah, big barrel. It's
I already told the doctor about it. He said he could change it here.
Which doctor's job? Is he in here? All right, well, we have a doctor over there, so take care of it.
We'll probably gave away most of the sheep for people to sleep.
Do you know what's wrong with this cat over here, Joe?
He was sort of freaky last night. He's been sleeping ever since, so I believe him alone. Yeah. He's living. I've looked at him and checked his pulse and everything, and he's okay.
It was over the other time we were getting him up and asked him to go back to the tents if they were.
Well, if we have a push on beds, we'll do that. But if we still have empty beds, let them just sleep it off. I think they'll be better.
Okay.
So she was living with my wife myself at the time. Oh, here we go again.
Stanley, I told you already about me. Sorry.
That's all right.
Why not?
You're no bother, man. I'm telling you, you see these people all the time. I gotta get over the stage and tell them some things.
Hey, a jacket for me. Could you get one? I don't have any jacket, and it gets pretty cold at night.
If it's possible, I'll get you.
Is it possible?
If it's not possible, I'll loan you one.
Okay.
It'll just be a little bit bigger and flatter.
Okay.
That's how to secure it.
That's what happens when you work here.
Okay, let's rest for a minute and...
Ready this outfit?
Go ahead.
Ambulances searching. Is it easier now? Or is it
It's a little bit easier. They're still sending them up. They're coming up from town, but we still get an awful lot of traffic. That's the big problem. They're going back and forth, and they're taking most of the real bad patients on the helicopters. That's about all you can do.
Is there a steady flow of bad patients out?
So. You really haven't got too many freakouts there. Most people are pretty well. All they need is a little rest and everything else. But there's we've had a couple of bad burns and epileptics. But they're about the only real bad ones. It's been pretty good today. We have had no one come in. This morning, that many come in at all.
Did you sign up for first aid or security?
No, we just came in to help out. That's all.
Local, right?
No, from Boston.
How many people do you have doing?
I have no idea. We just came up and started helping out yesterday and today.
Do they need people?
They need people. I think most of the help would be done if people just help clean up the mess and do this. Okay.
I really
on the truck, the old furnace. You know what to give us?
Oh my God. You got it, Billy!
You with hard form?
Yes.
We use this one on the truck. We need one on the medical.
No, I'll use this one.
You work on
I'll
the
travel.
medical truck?
Yeah. Okay, man. Listen, you
I'm
say...
gonna have to stay here. I have to stay here.
Okay, you keep that on 24 hours a day.
I know.
And plus keep yours on channel 1. On channel 1, you read me?
It's on 1 already.
Okay, groovy. All right.
What you got yours on?
Those helicopters land all over the place. We had to haul stuff from here to there the other day.
I want
Bring
to
me
ride
one.
with a stretcher in the back here.
Oh, yeah? Where can we get a stretcher?
Up, get a stretcher up at the hospital. They have plenty of stretchers now.
Yeah, they got a lot of...
Get a stretcher or leave.
Is there a cigarette in the house?
They got a hog farmer.
Cigarette?
We have a hog family that wants to go back up to the hospital, main hospital. All right, Barry, Billy, can you drive this thing? All right, get this thing back up. Get all these people out of here. Get all these people out of here.
Okay, everybody that's not going to work on this truck, get the hell off.
Billy, leave the... All right. Yeah, take the radio up with you. Go.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
You want to spare me with the stretcher?
What?
Spare me with the stretcher?
Do you have a stretcher? Get the people to sit down.
You got a stretcher?
Everybody get down.
Hey, everybody
sit down so you can see.
I'll get out behind you.
Barry.
You take it. He wants stretchers in the box.
Clear those people there. Get them all
I'll give you a
one stretcher back here. See those people there? Clear them out. Got to back up there. Clear them out now. All right, get this thing up there. Ready. We have the ambulance down here if anything else needs. Everybody,
What's going to be the most difficult thing you think about this? What has been the most difficult medical problem that you've had in terms of it?
Well, we've seen, a whole variety of stuff, and initially the communications really weren't very good with getting people out of here down to the hospital, but since we got the hospital set up and, getting people evacuated as need be, things are much smoother. But we've seen a lot of infections, and we're set up, for things like kids freaking out. I mean, that's easy. But when it comes to, real medical stuff, we can, do simple emergencies, but we can't do any prolonged type of thing, and we have to get people out of here.
There was a great problem just a few days ago, but it's beginning to improve.
Yeah, it's beginning to improve now. There was a problem in getting supplies. We got enough supplies now, but the first day or so, especially with the rain coming down, I mean, it really looked like this was going to be like a complete disaster. But things are really working. A lot of people
are helping out.
Yeah, lots of people have just, come up and, have offered to help. And we've got, guys from, there's a couple of medics from the Army and Navy, who are here. They're working, and, a lot of nurses and, people, with all sorts of training and no training who come around.
What kind of, there are going to be a lot of people right here now that are going to be watching this. What kind of advice would you give people in terms of being careful about things and stuff like that just would see this, just in terms of what are some of the complaints between, drinking water or whatever,
Well, one really common thing is that we must have seen about 300 cases of kids who come in with cuts on their legs. And, this area here is a pretty crummy place to go around barefoot. And, the one thing that would just have saved a lot of time if, people took care of, how they were walking around here.
There's a lot. What about the water? Is there any problem with the water still? Or?
Well, there's a lot of chlorine in the water, and a lot of people have been very sensitive to that amount of chlorine. We've gotten a lot of upset stomachs because of it. And, that problem still exists. There's, more sodas and, other stuff to drink around now, so people aren't drinking that so much.
Is there still bad acid around? You getting much of that kind?
Well, no one knows if it was bad acid or just that, people who took it, really weren't ready for, tripping up here. Because there's, this thing going around that, an announcement was made that the acid that was a lot of people were taking had poison in it, and anyone who's having a little bit of a rough time with an acid trip, all of a sudden hears it's poison, they're going to freak out, and that's what's happening. There's a lot of paranoia, it's caused by rumors about what's happening, with the acid that's here.
Great. You want to talk to us?
Yeah.
All right, okay. What are you doing here?
I got some of the medical tents for the MCHR people because I decided that a couple weeks ago we were talking about what was happening here. We decided that the country doctors couldn't handle what was going to come down, so we got up some volunteer doctors.
Why did you think they couldn't handle it? Why do you think they couldn't handle what was coming down?
It's like I don't think they have that much contact with the kind of problems. They didn't have any burn ointment on their list of medications. They didn't have a couple of other things that were really sort of important. And so we were going to bring up one psychiatrist at first, and then all of a sudden they kept saying we needed more people. So we got more people.
Did we need more than one psychiatrist?
Yeah, extra. I mean, like they didn't have anything taken care of.
A lot. So is it mostly, doctors that are handling the freakouts, or a lot of...
The doctors aren't handling the freakouts at all, but the thing is that you need medical people around to convince other medical people that non-medical people can handle them.
What do you think is the big? What do you think was the big problem medically, and has it been solved, or are there still problems that have?
Big problem medically won't be seen, I don't think, until after the festival, when the results of bad water and no sanitary facilities, like being able to wash your hands and everybody drinking out of not enough cups, come down in the various cities. The big problem's not going to be seen here.
I think that it's really all ultimate spinach, and that the reason why it's happening is because it really is an Aquarian age thing. And the town of Bethel in the mystical Kabbalah represents the center of life in the universe. So it's not just...
You think we're going to leave here? Are we going to all stay here? Are we going to go? What's going to happen?
I think you know the answers to those questions.
See ya.
You're to blame, and don't forget it. We're never going to let you forget it.
Mother? This is directed to my mother.
But in all seriousness, the parents of the past generation have done a shitty job. And the kids know it. I know it's running. I know it's running. Hey, they will rue the day, and that day is beginning.
Don, you're so profound.
So you were telling me why you can't. What did you come here for a reason?
Yeah, very definitely.
What was your reason?
Well, there's a revolution going on that's different than most people realize. It's a revolution of a lot of people who refuse to have anything to do with killing in all its forms. And here, there's vegetarian food. And I suppose, in a way, of the 500 mishaps that you see, injuries, there are like 500,000 people who are in a gigantic marriage with one another. A beautiful union with nature.
This tent here that you're sitting in, this tent you're sitting in front of, what is this tent? It says?
Well, when people take too much acid, they come here and they bring their friends, and there are a few people here that try and make them feel better.
You help out here too?
Yeah.
Are you trained? I mean, are you a doctor or something?
Oh, no.
Are any of them in there?
No.
How can they do that?
Well, so many people under an influence of acid tend to bring forth the most meaningful ideas that they know and emphasize them in their minds. And of course, the idea of non-killing is very meaningful in this day and age.
What are most of the problems that the kids have when they're freaking out? What kind of things?
Well, generally they suffer from paranoia. They're afraid. They're afraid that someone's going to hurt them, or they're afraid that they're going to die. And if you've been exposed to killing all your life in this culture, why, you've recorded all this killing in your memory, and it creates this fear. And it's accented by drugs in many cases.
What do you do when you have somebody who's freaking out? How do you?
Well, I tell them that everything's all right, and that as long as they don't involve themselves with killing anymore, and they don't turn their stomach into a grave for innocent animals that can show them love and affection, and unite themselves with their early childhood when they used to love the animals, why, they slowly become compassionate, and life becomes much more beautiful.
I think that sometimes my feeling is that the way you say things is just as important as what you say.
Yeah, that's true. The ideas of vegetarianism are growing all the time. People realize that the animals have 7 senses that work in unison. The plants have maybe 1 or 2. And as we become compassionate and identify with more of our brothers and sisters, we also go into the animal kingdom and know that they feel pain.
There's a lot of pain being imposed upon us, man, from the outside.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do about that?
Well, it's a great spiral going on. And the people who are more involved with killing are more hostile to those that are more involved with the forces of life.
I thought I was really clever.
You see all the animals, though. And when you have a child, you want to let it grow up with a lot of little animals. And then it'll be in the hand of God. Whereas if you put your child in front of a TV set, he's in the hand of man. And all of God's creation is love.
Does he love me?
Well,
Does he love me?
he could love you. I'm sure if you fed him, put up with his monkey business, he'd love you. Just the way a dog does. All animals can love. And that's why you shouldn't turn your stomach into a grave. You see, it's nicer to make friends of the animals and eat the fruits and vegetables. And every time you eat lamb chops, you're paying someone to kill.
Who eats lamb chops?
Do you? Oh, it's beautiful.
You worked in this place here?
Yes, I did.
What seems to be how did the thing work? I mean, how do you do that?
Well, the general tenor of treatment is just to reinforce the idea of love and care. Very often a person who has isolated his ego on a drug feels completely alone and locked into his own thing, his own trip or whatever the drug may be, not necessarily LSD. Sometimes this comes about just by the pressures of being in a strange environment. Over at the other tent this morning, we had a young man who was not on any drug. It's just the combination of loud music and late nights and the tension of so many people around him upset him. And he started to withdraw. The idea when withdrawal comes is try and grab him and hold him and just feel love for him.
Have you been trained to do this, or just?
No, I don't really think that you can get training for it. You either have a feeling for people or you don't. You either can work with children, which people like this are. They're basically a child. They have the fears of children. Many of the fears are completely nonsensical. Many of them have a basis either in history or in truth. You can never tell where it comes from, but you have to try and reach it despite.
Excuse me, what station do you work for? Movement City Media. We're going to play this right back. It's an immediate communications feedback right into the smoke scene. Let's go, man.
This is great team.
Our splinter expert is currently indisposed.
You have a lot of stuff over the...
What did you see out there? What was the problem? What's going on at the main place?
Wait a minute, which one? The hospital?
The hospital, yeah.
The hospital. Well, the hospital was finally set up yesterday afternoon to deal with serious medical problems that we couldn't just do any patch-up work with, but had to have ongoing medical treatment and to evacuate anybody who was in imminent critical condition. We didn't have that like the first 2 days, and we insisted that it had to be set up and that supplies had to be brought in. They were finally brought in yesterday afternoon.
What happens when someone goes, if someone has to go to the hospital, what do they do?
Well, they're helicoptering them out.
They're helicoptering them out.
Yeah. Right.
They don't really have hospital facilities there.
No, what we do have there is kind of like a field hospital. If you wanted to compare it to the Army, right? This isn't even phase 1, because we couldn't treat any real trauma here. An ex-Army nurse.
To set this hospital up, we had to bring in a plane. We had to make them charter a plane to bring doctors from New York, or else we just wouldn't have had the staff to make a hospital.
How come they didn't think of doing that? Was it the numbers, or what?
Well, if we had had any real idea of anything like the number of people they expected, we would have asked them to make a lot more available. They had hired a staff of local physicians and nurses, but either they weren't being straight with them or what, because they didn't make it clear how many people were going to be here.
And also what kind of cases they were going to have.
Well, but you have to expect any and every kind of case when you have so many people together.
Are they handling any of the... Have you just been down at the hospital? Are they handling everything?
We have severe burn cases. They're running them out. They're having to bring in planes because they're having restrictions. The Army helicopters will only go to Monticello. They won't deviate from that. Total bureaucratic procedure.
Bureaucratic shit that only hurts people in the end.
Yeah, so we have cases down there with... You send somebody down with appendicitis from here, right? They're having to bring in outside planes and fly them out. I've been going back and forth getting supplies from them.
They said a lot of the trouble was cars, really ramming people on the road. People can't get out of the way. I saw
maybe they're making a connection.
Somebody do that. What was that? Trucks, stopping short and people falling off and people not getting out of the way.
What about the sanitation? Is that holding up all right? Is things clean enough?
Back on the back hill, they've got, I brought 3 trucks up this morning. They've got sanitation trucks emptying these latrines, taking it up, pumping it out, putting it in a big dish that they have way up on the back hill in the woods, and burying it, and then they're coming back and putting water with chemical in and refilling these latrines, so it's totally sanitary. There's no problem with it.
Yeah, I think they're keeping up with that.
Absolutely. If there's any problem, it's a water problem, getting water in. That's been a problem.
And the garbage problem is under control in this area. It's probably in the big area where all the people are that it's, that's a mess.
It's pretty bad in the business area over there.
We're doing all right over here.
Well, this area is pretty together.
Why do you think this area is better than the other? Is it because it's less crowded?
Cohesive.
Less bad vibrations.
Hog farm cohesiveness.
Right. The hog farm, a central office is here, and their vibe spread out over the whole camp area here.
This place is a community over on
this end of things. It's really nice. You know, we've really gotten along well. People have cooperated in keeping the place clean. You know, people have helped other people with bum trips. You know, it's really been a good thing.
And we've had food over here and water for people who've needed it, and a lot of really good vibes around here. Yeah, there's not as much mud. You know, people have kept clean. We've had first aid facilities so people feel comfortable. And there's water. And there's also music, you know, like there's music right over there that people hear all the time.
But I think there's also the problem that over in the main area there are so many people that there are a lot more freakouts over there because the kids were taking acid trips, and a lot of the kids were kind of lonely when they came up here, and they got caught in the crowd and couldn't really find their way out. Either they couldn't find friends, and so they really had to come to hospital facilities because that was the only thing that was available to them. And there are I think a lot of young, scared kids who've come up here and just didn't know quite what to expect.
Do you think we're going to have a lot of people staying here?
That's what we've heard. There are a lot of people who, first of all, it's doubtful about when people can get out by road. And then there are a lot of people who seem to have, seem to be ready to pack in for several days. One problem is we're not going to have any medical facilities, or very few medical facilities, after tomorrow morning.
Really? You mean they're just going to pull everything out?
I know more about that.
Well, basically, most of the medical staffing here is volunteer, and they all have patients back in their own, bailiwick that they're responsible to also. They came up on the weekend, to volunteer because they had the weekend, and they're just going to not be able to do it beyond tonight. So most of the people from New York are flying back tonight. And really we're going to be able to keep a couple of our people are going to stay on another day or two. And, hopefully we'll be able to deal with most of that. First of all, maybe some of the traffic will be cleared up so we can move people out if need be. And if they keep the helicopters another couple of days, we'll be able to deal with emergencies more or less. And if they keep some of their hired staff on, medical staff, they may be able to cope, but I still think there are going to be too many people here.
What about the transportation bus? Anybody know anything about that? How are we going to get out?
I think what they're trying to do, people are moving out slowly, and so far nothing's built up to any, crisis proportions again. And it's slow, and they hope that is the way it'll continue, and that's when they start the show today. They're going to try and lay that rap on of people should move out slowly and not try to make it all at once and hang around till late tonight or leave tomorrow morning or tomorrow during the day. And if they do that, obviously that's not feasible. I mean, if it took them so long to get everybody in, it's going to have to take them almost as long to get everybody out.
If you can look around here, it doesn't look like people are breaking camp. I mean, it's obvious that their tents are up for a while.
Okay, we'll take a walk around. We'll go over to the other place. Come over and see it. These are being run back almost immediately. These are being played almost immediately. A runner just going back. And they'll be played over and over again.
What do you mean? You have a...
You mean a videotape?
Yeah.
What's this? All right.
And what does it do? It goes right...
Right, it goes right back there. It's played back over there. And your information is being played to people as it goes by. You understand?
Well, let's go run over and see.
Are you going to say, does that stuff get preserved to be used? Are you newsreel people?
Newsreel? Far out, definitely.
Are you making a movie?
This is videotape. It's different. It's immediate communication. This is supposed to have a real purpose. That's why I asked you something. I asked, what do you do if this happens?
Yeah. Oh, well, if that's the case, then we should give people a couple of warnings to stay out of the sun if they can, because they're going to get very badly burned and we don't dry, and we don't have the water or the medication to take care of that. People should remain out of the sun and conserve their water for later if they can.
One of the nicest features we've got here, I don't know if you've seen it yet, was the bum trip centers. Have you?
Yeah, we went over it. What do you think about it?
Oh, I've been working in it. I dig it. I think it's really a good idea.
Why? What's so great?
Well, for one thing, we can tell people or show people that mainly bad trips are not the acid. It's all in the head, and it's the way you look at a thing. And we've had nobody leave that place that has had a bum trip. They may have been bumming on the way in, but they were grooving on the way out.
People should also wear shirts and hats if they have them. That's very important to keep down the sun.
People to keep on their shoes. We've seen hundreds and hundreds of cut feet. And if people would just keep on their shoes, that we could eliminate 90% of that.
That's where the new social revolution gets in the way of medical information, right?
Well, at least if they're going to walk around up there where the old social habits are still present, they got to keep
But the
their
first
shoes
thing
on.
they did is make everybody wear shoes, you know. So it's just, you know, a good idea here too.
Yeah. Maybe wearing shoes has nothing to do with the revolution.
But the latrine situation is improved and everything.
Yeah.
If you walk through all the...
1036, 1036. Yeah, the OMS control call.
What's wrong with the dog? He must have been, I don't know. Just this morning we found him like this. So, do you want to see if he can walk?
Yeah, let's just see what it does.
Shandy. He can't walk.
Yeah, I know about the cut.
Come here, Shandy. Come here. Shandy. He can't walk on him.
Oh, wow, did you hear that? Where's the guy who needs to ride to Detroit? He was wandering around here. He lost his wallet.
Okay, look, you know, I don't think this is anything very serious. What we could do is sort of put a splint on the leg. I think you're going to have to take him to a vet, you know. You'll probably need x-rays and so on. We'll put some...
Okay. Let me answer questions, people. Somebody's selling them?
Yeah, well, like, you gotta live. So, I mean, sometimes you gotta have money.
How come the Stones aren't here, you know, and the Beatles and stuff? Like, it's incomplete. This isn't real, you know?
It's not real.
Yeah, we really need those people there.
Not enough money, the man. See, he says.
They don't need bread, man. They got all kinds of bread. They should fly over here, you know, and make the scene with us. It's really bad.
Right. George Harrison and Jagger and Richard have lost. All four of them have lost their visas. Right.
It's exempt from law, this place, you know?
Yeah, but they've got to get into this place first, which means first they got to cross a national border.
They
helicopter them in from Cuba. They get shot down on the way.
You think this is a disaster area?
Oh, no, I think this is great.
I heard rumors it was declared a disaster area, officially, whatever that means.
Why do you look so happy? Because I am happy. It's the best thing that happened to me
It's
this
the
year.
greatest party the world has ever seen. That's all you can describe it as.
All these Jews.
The biggest party in the world.
Do you think this is a disaster?
Oh, no.
It's like it's like taking a 20th of New York City, dropping it down in a hick town, throwing $3 million worth of drugs in, and saying, "Here, have yourself a bowl. We'll pick you up in 3 days."
No, because then this would no longer be great. If everyone has it, it takes all the excitement out of it.
It's too good.
Oh, that's like saying peace wouldn't be great.
You
if the
can't
whole
walk
world-
around in mud and filth and dirt all your life. It's great for a week. It's not beautiful.
That's the way it is.
You can't walk around with mud up to your knees and squalor because you just can't live that
It's
way.
uncomfortable. You get crotch rot. Yeah.
It's not.
I want crotch rot.
And if you had
I'm
this
getting
all
crotch
the
rot
time,
now.
it would be great.
Bullshit.
It's only great because
Well,
it's
listen,
not
you
a way
didn't
of
practice
life.
for Vietnam, all those rice patties.
Yeah. Have you had your oats yet?
No,
Is this something for the CIA or something? What is it? Is it work for the
Do you
CIA?
belong to the CIA?
As a matter of fact,
You belong to the CIA.
You're all busted.
we're having babies, and you have a movie theater, and you have places to eat,
People
and
freaking
you have
out.
freaks. I mean, it's like a little city.
This is the real world, baby.
Yeah.
This is it.
What time will you be showing this?
As soon as we finish it, we have video communications up at Movement City. You'll see.
We'll all walk back to New York. It'll take about 3 or 4 days, you know? It'll be a beautiful thing, you know?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
Because we
Oh,
will
man,
get
we know
there
what purpose,
fast.
man. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Because the traffic is uptight because of the hippie fest.
We'll get there
Traffic
faster
uptight.
walking than they will by car.
Sir?
Yeah.
You live here?
I sure as hell do.
You mind if we ask you a few questions?
Yes, sir, I'm right here to answer.
Oh, great. Have you been affected by this festival at all in any way?
Is what?
Well,
we lost all of our milk?
First of all, where are you folks? Do you
We're
represent?
trying to put together a film for to show what the whole picture was like, you know, from all sides, not only the kids.
How you feel about it? Do you want me to explain it in plain English?
Clarence,
A shitty mess.
turn around.
Really?
And
Yes.
tell me.
In what way?
No bathrooms.
Our 150 acres
No
are all,
bathrooms. Yeah, they are.
and we didn't rent to them. They all trespassed,
In the
everyone.
back.
Ma'am, Clarence, first tell me where you want this to go.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is it okay if we use your telephone?
We have none. It went out.
This is a disaster area. We don't even have a phone. It's been out since the storm. Yes, water I can give you. I'm sorry, the phone has been out. I have emergency calls.
It's a disgraceful mess, if you want to know the answer.
What specifically has happened to you?
My fields were all cut up. Our second cut in the hay is gone. Our cows, the milk truck couldn't get here. The milk had to be thrown out.
May I ask you how much money you made on this 4 days?
I have no conception of.
Did you make $5,000?
I have no idea how much money.
That's too private a question.
It's not only too private. I didn't even have a chance to total up the amount of purchases we made, the amount of money we took in. We just haphazardly sent it to our home and had it locked up until we had a chance to sit down and count it, which would probably be in about 2 to 3 days.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to see it again next
I'd love to see it again.
Give me some singles. You'd love to see it.
A lot of kids in acid and shit like that. One kid died of heroin overdose. Yeah, another guy died. He was run over, I believe. The Army's really done a great job, you know. People understand pulling pigs and shit like that, and it's not right, you know. They've done a good job.
Now from the site of the Woodstock Music and Art Fair, here's another special report from Howard Smith.
The mood today up at the Woodstock Music and Art Fair is one of gentle fatigue. The hundreds of thousands of people jammed into this city-sized encampment are tired from sitting up till past dawn, which is when the last group scheduled for Saturday, the Jefferson Airplane, finally left the stage. The audience was too exhausted to applaud anymore. I spoke to James Gordon, a young bearded doctor who is one of the many volunteer medics. He has been tending to campers for 3 days. He told me that along with treating foot injuries and heat stroke, the most common ailment has been bad trips. He described the symptoms as fear, stomach cramps, and in the younger patients, loneliness. Between a few showers, the sun has been out. The mud has dried. Mobs of people, both sexes, are once again sunbathing and swimming nude. And a lot of people have begun to think about returning home. Okay, I think I'm going to have too many nurses in the whole spot. I can't figure it out. Maybe you can edit it. Okay, I'll do it again.
Okay, go ahead.
I just visited the big green and white hospital tent, and the scene there was dreary. Picture army cots sinking into the mud and plainclothes nurses sloshing from patient to patient. The doctors are very overworked, and there aren't nearly enough nurses. The festival organizers have arranged to helicopter in about 40 more nurses to help out. Aside from treating endless cases of poison ivy, splinters, and giving tetanus shots, the medical staff has been attempting to cope with severe hypersensitive reactions to what is being called poisonous LSD that was being widely sold yesterday. Although it is not killing anyone, it does cause everything from nausea to convulsions.
That it?
That's it.
You're going to end up on that?
Right.
Okay. All right. We'll let it out there.
Okay. Okay, people, we got a Times. Okay. On the front page, you have on the left a very big aerial photo of a huge mass of people, which are you. And it says, music was the magic for throngs at Woodstock Music and Art Fair. Towers near the stage hold loudspeakers. 300,000 at Folk Rock Fair camp out in the sea of mud. Dig it, dig it. Wait a second, I'm doing this. Bethel, New York, August 16th. Despite massive traffic jams, drenching thunderstorms, shortages of food, water, medical facilities, about 300,000 young people swarmed over this rural area today for the Woodstock Music and Art Fair. The prospect of drugs and the excitement of making a scene, the young people came in droves, camping in the woods, romping in the mud, talking, smoking, and listening to wailing music. Quote, participants well behaved, the crowd, which camped on the 600-acre farm of Max Yasger near here for the past 3 days, was, cheer it for us, people, was well behaved according to both the sponsors and the police, even though about 75 persons in the area were arrested, mostly on possessing narcotics. Bummer, bummer. It says other things here, man, like our shortages of water, how cars are lined up for about 20 miles and huge traffic jams and all this other good shit. All in all, man, it says that you've been pretty groovy, man, and you've been doing a groovy scene out here. And we gotta thank you for it. You're being very beautiful. You're making this show. Yeah, give this man back his paper, please. He wants his paper. This cat over there. Alan Fay, go to the information booth. Your friend is very ill, Alan Fay. Please go to the information booth, man. It's a bummer, please. All right, thank you. Please, people in that crane area, please move out. Please don't sit near it, because when the crane swings, you're going to get conked on the head, and it's really going to hurt. John and Fogarty, return home in your father is taken for an open conversation. We start at the information booth right away. John and Fogarty, return home in your father has been taken for an open conversation. We start at the information booth immediately.
From New Orleans, please come to the information booth.
Pamela Carr, or anybody who knows Susan Carr, please come to the information booth.
Jeffrey Swart, come to the information booth.
Ellen Brazell, Linda and Denise are waiting for you at the information.
Are they pressing in or they just walking?
Your little brother Jerry is here and has been at the information booth since 10:30 last night. If you, Frank Powers, if you're around, please come claim your little brother. He's been here for like 12 hours now. Captain Eimer and Amy Hurst, meet Gary Clem at the information booth. You have excused. Donna Enstrom, please meet you.
You been with those guys, or?
No, but we...
Harry Morgan,
Stay in here. I'm sorry. Somebody in there. Okay. Somebody left their can. Somebody left their cane in here. Some poor fellow come looking for his cane. You're getting a little behind on this job, aren't you? Oh, they've been behind right along. It's not the idea of being behind. You just can't keep up. That's what it is. You're using quite a bit of that stuff, huh? Yeah. That helps give you a little pleasanter odor, you know. Yeah, with the disinfectant in there, you put your deodorant bars in, makes it a little more pleasanter to go in there and use it. Doing a good job, Harry. Thank you very much. Glad to do it for these kids. My son's here, too. And I got one over in Vietnam, too. He's up in the DMZ right now called Flying Helicopters. See you later.
How was it?
You want some?
Thanks, not right now.
You want some? You want some?
How would you rate the Portisand?
Huh?
How do you rate the facilities in your Portisand?
Wow, it beats the woods. What are you doing, a movie?
Yeah.
Not this?
Partly.
What's it gonna be called?
Portisand.
Oh. All right.
We have a gentleman with us. It's the gentleman upon whose farm we are, Mr. Max Yasgur. One might add that it took a man of fantastic guts to give us the place to do it in.